Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. You already know what time it is. It's the time of the week for me to share a little bit of minimalist pearls and gold and whatever type of jewelry you're into, to share with you guys for this week. Now I want to share with you guys the 8, I think it's 8, could be more or less. Y'all let me know if I lose track of how many they are. But ideally, I think there are 8 minimalist habits that I live by, that I need to do on a day-to-day basis, on a weekly basis, to keep not just my life organized, but to keep my sanity. Y'all know how crazy the world can get sometimes, so it's very important for me to create those routines and habits to make my days and my weeks and just my life in general to be more productive and more organized. And that's just what works for me. So if there's anything that you like in part of this list that you want to use, go right ahead. If there's something that you can relate to, if something strikes a chord with you, feel free to share on the comments below. So let's get right into it. Number 1, let's start with hair and makeup. I'm just gonna call this the beauty routine. I try to keep this minimal, and of course I've gone ahead and did a video recently about my minimalist makeup routine. If you guys want to check it out, I'll leave a link somewhere down there if y'all want to check it out. If you've already seen it, I'm really happy you did. So as you can see, this is pretty much my daily look, you guys. I pretty much use like 5 items on a day-to-day basis. This is it. And for the most part, this is what I wear. This is the look I go for when I go to work. If I'm going out for lunch with friends or hanging out. For the most part, if I am home and I don't really have anywhere else to go, it's zero makeup. So I'm not even, I give my skin and my face a chance to breathe and kind of just relax, because you know it takes a toll, and it does eventually, you know, affect. I have very sensitive skin, so it does affect my skin if I'm constantly putting stuff on it on a day-to-day basis. Now same with the hair, that goes along with the beauty routine. As you can see, same thing. I pretty much just, if y'all want to give, you know, I pretty much just, you know, tie it in the back and braid it. And that's pretty much it. That's a hairstyle that works for me. I am a very, very active person, not just you know, in the industry that I work for, but just me in general. Like, I move around a lot, so it's very important for me, in order for me to stay focused on what I'm doing. The least of my worry should be my hair. I need it to be out of the way, almost out of sight, because it's always behind me, and it allows me to really focus on the task at hand without having to be so fidgety and worrying about if it's in place, if it's messed up or anything like that. It really just helps me to make my life easier. Next up, now we have time management. Now we all know how important time is. Yes, we are recycling. Yes, I am drinking out of a container that used to be coconut milk yogurt alternative. Water and ice cubes are in there. Nothing goes to waste. We recycle, remember that. So time management. As we all know, time is so precious, so limited, and so short, and it's something that once it's spent, you really can't get it back. There's no such thing as, oh, I spent an hour here, I can get that back. The reality of it, once it's spent, it's gone. You move forward, you spend another hour, another minute, another second, but you can't get the time back from your past. That's just the reality of it. We have to make peace with it and accept it, and that's that on that. So time management is very important for me. It's another way for me to stay on schedule, organized. You know, I do use an alarm clock on my phone, so of course that helps with getting to work on time, making sure I'm able to squeeze in my personal time along with my other routines that's just for me aside from work. So time management is an essential, especially as, I mean, a New Yorker, I guess. You know, time is money, baby. Time is money. Time is money, and you have to make sure you spend it wisely. As long as whatever you're doing brings value to you, and it's what's the most important thing to you, then you've spent your time wisely. It doesn't mean when I say wisely, you have to be productive and always making money, and whatever is important to you, then that's already time that's well spent. It could be just enjoying a cup of coffee. It could be some moments spent with family and friends, and laughing and sharing memories and sharing stories. It doesn't matter what it is. Your time is your time. Make sure that as much as possible you have full control of it whenever life allows, so you can spend it in a way that feels good to you. Next up, walks. I guess I could go walk / exercise. That's part of exercise, right? But then again, walks are also therapeutic for me. So for me, I see walks as just not only I'm burning calories, but I'm also, it's very therapeutic for me in a way that it kind of forces me to slow down. Because when you're in that moment and you're walking, you notice the things that you don't normally notice when you're just rushing through the day, trying to get to work, trying to catch a meal, trying to do this, trying to do a million things. But when you're like, okay, let me just skip the bus or skip the cab, skip driving, and you just go for a walk, it really gives me time to clear my head and to just appreciate things and slow down. And sometimes we react off of impulse. So when I walk, it's like it's a way for me to get back to me, to slow everything down, to calm everything down, and to focus and just breathe. So it's very important for me. I do take walks. I try to make it every day if the weather permits, whether if it's daytime, lunchtime, or nighttime. I love walks. Now, along with the walks is exercise, of course. I try to, as much as possible, I'm not perfect. I try to exercise. I give myself at least maybe 3 times a week. On a good week, maybe 5 times. I used to work out every day, like 7 days a week, and come to find out, I didn't know what I know now, and that was not good for me. I was not giving my body enough rest, enough time to recover, and to just, because it's not good to just constantly work out. You can be active every day, but to just go hardcore every day, lesson learned. I had to learn the hard way, and I was younger and I didn't know what I know now. So of course now I try to at least maintain a good routine, whatever feels good to my body. If I'm not too sore, and if I'm feeling good, I had enough rest the night before, and I'm able to work out the day after. So another thing up next is meal prep. Also, I've gone ahead and made a video about how to meal prep, of course, Chris's style, in order for me to save money. So that's another thing that's an essential for me, a routine. I do this every other day or every 3 days, but it is definitely a weekly routine for me. I have to meal prep, because with meal prepping, it's not just from a financial standpoint where it saves me money, because I then have something ready to go and it can prevent me from spending money out. But also, it just, when there are times that I'm tired, and I'm a little guilty of this, but I do press the snooze button sometimes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So in those days where I am rushing and I'm having a rough start to my day, having those prepped meals in those containers in the fridge saves me, and it has saved me so many times where I was rushing out the door and I didn't have time to cook. So I just grabbed one of the containers I already prepped from 2 days before, and I was able to enjoy it as soon as I got to work. We have a microwave at work. I just heat it up, boom, the belly's happy and the pocket is happy. So meal prep is one of them. And along with that, next up is budgeting. I do plan out my budget. I'm not the best at it. Like, I'm still, trying to get there. I have an idea of where exactly I want to cut down my expenses, but it's a work in progress. Budgeting is important. I need to be able to set money aside for those things that need to be taken care of bills wise on a monthly basis, or a weekly basis. Let's say your rent, your cell phone bill, your transportation, all the things that come as a monthly bill. I try to set that aside already, so it doesn't matter what happens, regardless if I don't work for a few days because I got sick, or something happened in the workplace, or for some reason I don't come up with the money now. That money is already set aside because I've already budgeted it and it's good to go. So when the time comes when it's due, I either pay it off early, or it's right on time. Again, that goes along with preparing the meals. It kind of goes hand in hand, where I budgeting to give myself a number. Let's say if I say, okay, if I'm budgeting $50 for groceries, $50 for groceries. If it goes over, then I have to make a decision, like, okay, is this something that I really need and I just forgot, or is this something that I could go without? But as much as possible, I try to work around that range. I'm not too strict with it. Let's say if I do give myself like $50 or $50, more or less. Let's say a total might be like 45. Great. Sometimes it's 55. That's fine. So as long as I can work around the range that I give myself, then I'm happy. Up next, of course, aside from budgeting, time to relax. You get up, you get your day started, you start your routines, you go to work, you give your time to family and friends, but don't forget to give time to yourself. You have to always get back to yourself. So it's like paying yourself for doing such a good job. Paying yourself for the effort, paying yourself and giving yourself that love back. The same amount that you give to your boss, because I do believe that work is a form of love. It's a way for you to share what you do best to make their business grow, right? That's what work is. You're using your skills and what you're good at, whatever that may be, for their business, so their business can grow and be successful. So that's, in a way, that's like a form of love. Same with your friends, when you're checking up on them, like, hey, how are you doing? How's your day going so far? I've missed you. Let's catch lunch later. Or saying, checking up on your family, or even just doing something kind to a friend or to a coworker or someone without them having to ask. All of those things that you do for everyone else, you need to be able to give that to yourself back and then some. I know a lot of times we can be so hard on ourselves. I'm guilty of this. When it's like, I missed a workout. I feel like crap. Like, I feel so lazy and sluggish and unproductive. Like, I should have gotten up early and I should have gotten my workout done. I would have been done by now. I would have felt better. But I take a moment and I say, Chris, did your best. You were not feeling well when you woke up. You were a little tired today. So, give yourself a break, and it's okay. Tomorrow's another day. You can always make up for it. I try to be so hard on myself. A way for me to relax also is sometimes I read a book. I read a book, or I light a candle, set the mood right. Or sometimes if I run out of my candle, I'll use essential oils. And so relaxation, reading, essential oils, setting the mood, setting an environment that's soothing and calming, and just Up next, I am guilty of this too. music and dancing. I'm not a dancer, but I do love music and I do like to get the body moving. So, that's one thing. That's like my happy place, and it's not about being perfect. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a dancer, but there's something about just, you listen to music, you find a beat, and then you just let your body take control. It's like, okay, boom, boom. Next thing you know, you're moving. And you can never find anyone dancing who's angry. Have you ever met someone who's dancing who's angry? No, it's like a happy exercise. It's a happy moment. When you do it, like, it just makes you feel good. It's like you forget about everything and then you just kind of let loose. And it's another therapeutic way for me, besides everything else, besides the walk, the exercise, the relaxation. There's just something, and I don't do it for hours, even if it's just moments in the day, and then you just catch yourself getting into a vibe. You hear a song that reminds you of the old days, and then you just get into it. So that's one thing too that I do for myself. That is an essential. It's important to me, in order for me, again, to keep my sanity. These are the things that really help me get through my day, where I can have a successful, not just productive day, but a feel-good day. I can go to bed at night and say, I had a good day. So that's another thing too. And last but not least, to tie all of this together, however you want to mold it. One thing too that helps me, I might be a little bit old school. I know everyone is so into technology nowadays, and everyone wants to write everything on their phones. But for me, I do write on my phone too, but there's just something about having a pen and paper. So in my case, I do have my pencil, and I use a yearly planner or a monthly planner. A year planner that has the weekly day, the days, the weeks, and the months calendar into it. So it's a way for me. I don't journal as much as I used to, but in order for me to stay organized in terms of not just for work, but I also use, I use my personal plans and work plans in the same planner. And I can show you which planner I use. It's very simple. It's nothing too crazy, but it helps me. It helps me keep track of the things that's due for work. It helps me keep track of even like my spending when I budget. I write it down, or things I need to get and things I need to focus on for that week. I write it down. And there's something about the planner that's just kind of a little bit more like motivating. It kind of forces you to really get things done rather than texting it on your phone. Again, I tried using the notes on my phone. I don't have an updated phone, but I do have the notes on there, and I do try as much as possible to, I type a little stuff here and there, but for the most part, I use my planner for that, and it really, really helps. Now, like I said, if planners don't work for you, I know some people, they'll use like little sticky notes, or they'll write on their hand, or some people, like I said, it's the new age, and maybe you just want to use your phone, whichever works for you. But these are just my minimalist habits that I use on a weekly basis. I hope you like it. I hope you found value in it. Perhaps you can use some of the things that I do, or if there's something that you can relate to, feel free to put them in the comments down below. With that being said, wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And if you are in the Philippines, maayong buntag, maayong udto, maayong hapon, maayong gabi. And thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope to see you next time. Again, don't forget, click like, subscribe. Take care.